nearly 30 years ago, actually almost 30 years ago, long time ago, it seems like a lifetime ago, I was plagued with something called acne. And acne, for those of you that don't really understand what's going on there, it's basically just skin conditions that have caused little boils or little infections underneath the skin. And these infections kind of boil over or create these situations with a lot of inflammation, and in a lot of cases the inflammation or the infection piece becomes what's called a whitehead. And so this inflammation gets all red and inflamed and nasty. And of course, the whiteheads are like so gross, and they tell you not to touch them, not to pick them, but there's no way in hell you're going to English freshman class with a whitehead on your forehead or on your lip or on your chin or over here or over there or over here. Anyway, it was so bad. My mom took me to a couple dermatologists. We saw a couple specialists. They got me on tetracycline. My mom had all kinds of people telling her different stories, all the unsolicited advice you get as a mom. And it just kind of went on and on. And for the longest, I didn't even know what was going on. I'm like, I don't know. It sucks. We're trying, my 8th grade, I think it was 8th grade or was it freshman year, I had a big one right here for a picture day. And it was awful. It was like one of those things you're just like, this sucks, but it was kind of the, teenage experience or whatever. And so of course what I did was used cover up. I used all the different variations with the stick, with the little cream and, powder, all the different pictures from most of high school. I had face makeup on my face, At one point when I was on the tetracycline, it kind of cleared up a bit, and I didn't go to school with it. And a couple of my friends even commented on it, and one said that she thought my face was getting better. The other one said it looked worse because clearly I wasn't covering it up anymore, so nobody really knew how bad it was, So over the years, I, managed to do more and more with that, and continued to cover it up until I tried giving up, or I gave up chocolate for Lent one year. And if you don't know about Lent, that's the season where the Catholics give up, indulgences. Anyway, my face cleared up. I'm like, great, chocolate, that's the problem. Well, little did I know it wasn't chocolate, but the milk that was in the chocolate that actually cleared up my face. But I didn't realize that until much later. And then I was on the stuff they sold at the malls, at the little kiosks. I forget what that was, which didn't quite, it helped, but it was only, more chemicals. It was a lot of chemicals. So I didn't really like that so much. And of course, somebody told me it's the salicylic acid. So, then I had this boyfriend that was all crazy about it, and he went and got me something with extra salicylic acid on it, and it like made my skin super dry. And I was still covering it up and covering it up and covering it up. And this was already 27, 28, years old. I'm not figuring it out yet. And then I was still wearing it, early 30s. And then finally, my 33rd year of life was when actually it was the end of my 32nd year. I went vegan for some time. I went all plant-based. This was 10 years ago now at this point, because I'm going to be 42 soon. So 10 years ago, I went all plant-based for the time between Thanksgiving and New Year's, and my face cleared up. And so it was like, this isn't really hormonal, is it? Which is what I assumed it was, and I even had gotten a cream. There was a cream that I tried, because someone told me it's probably a hormonal thing, and of course it was this Mary Kay cream that was supposed to like calm your estrogen, I think it was, but it made me crazy. So that didn't work. I actually returned it to the rep. And so then that year, my 33rd year after I understood what was going on, and I quit this like high stress job that I had that, you know, I was always late to. So that meant I was like in the car rubbing this shit on my face, and it was nasty and gross, and my car was gross, and it was just not fun at all. I stopped enjoying getting ready for work because I was still, you know, worried about blemishes and zits and stuff. But man, when I went plant-based and dairy, it was dairy specifically because I am since now eating meat and I don't have any breakouts, and eggs. But the other problem was that I was stressed out about it, and I was living in a place, in a boat, in a sailboat, in the best recreational bay in all of Southern California, and I was running and playing in the water and swimming and just having a ball. And of course, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to have to worry about carrying around this bag of creams and stuff. And it was at that point, nearly 10 years ago now, 8 years ago, that I said, enough, I don't need this. And you know what? Now I hydrate, I use sunscreen, and I don't cover up anything because guess what? I don't even have blemishes anymore. I'm like, I don't even have blemishes to cover up. Why am I worried about this anymore? I don't need to be worried about it. Of course, maybe at some point my wrinkles might bother me, but right now they don't. And so I'm fine with that. You know, I'm absolutely, totally fine with my wrinkles because guess what? It's a privilege to live long enough to have wrinkles and enjoy your life. And as long as I'm covering up and I'm getting enough hydration going, I use an argan oil, and that's it on my face, and sunscreen when I'm out for a long period of time. But other than that, I'm fine. I don't need to because guess what? Guess what? The acne I had when I was 15 years old to the time I was 30 is much worse than any wrinkle I'm ever going to experience for the rest of my life. So anyway, that's my story. I don't know if it's going to inspire you to try something new, but if you do struggle with acne, let me tell you, your diet might be affecting it. It's probably not hormonally based. At least that wasn't the case for me. Some people it is, but if you struggle with that and nobody's ever tried to, you know, to give you that recommendation, because no one tried to, they give me all kinds of other recommendations, but they didn't try that one. Anyway, that's my story, and that's the reason why I have no problem showing my wrinkles, because it's a lot better than the acne I had growing up.